Hey, what's up guys? So we're going to be doing a deck profile for the pure Mermail Atlantians, and I got this deck kind of from Omega Wolf. He was the one that was playing this deck, and he really showed me how to play this deck correct, because I was not knowing what I was doing in the beginning, but I learned pretty fast of how to play the deck. So let me get into the deck profile, and I'll explain some of the cool combos you can do with this deck. So let's get started. So first we run 2 Gen X controller. He's not very good, but at least, you know, you can summon him, and he's a 1400 beater, plus he's a tuner, plus he's dark. So the reason why you play this card is so you can play 3 of this guy, Gen X Undine. This card really sets up your combos, and it pluses like crazy. This card basically becomes pop 1 card on your opponent's field, because you can send either Armsman or Marksman to the graveyard, or you can use his effect to add like a Deep Sea Diva by sending the Seahorseman to the graveyard. So there's so many advantages you can use with this card over here. And what's good about him is it's a cost, so even if they Veiler it, it doesn't really hurt him at all. So very good card. This definitely is one of the best cards, I'd say, in the Mermail Atlantian archetype. It just helps out so much. Even though that's not a Mermail or Atlantian, it still has so much support for the deck. I really feel like this card is almost necessary to run, because you get so many advantages off of it. And we are also playing Allure of Darkness, because drawing this card is awful. That is the only downside to playing the build with the Undines, is you have to play the Gen X controller, because you can't just send, you have to actually be able to have a target to add. But yeah, we have Allure of Darkness because you can add it pretty much whenever you need to. You want to go for first turn Undine, like it just sets up your plays, and you can send Seahorsemen to the graveyard and then add Megalo Abyss, and then you get so much advantage already. It's so good. So yeah, we're playing 2 controller because you kind of need to, but at least he's a tuner, so it's not like that bad. Next up, we're playing 3 Armsmen and 3 Marksmen. Armsman is generally used to destroy face-up cards when he's sent to the graveyard for a water monster's effect, and then Marksman destroys face-down cards, so it can be monsters, it can be back row. One quick combo with the Armsman: you can summon Deep Sea Diva. I'll put him in the side deck so you can see. So you summon Deep Sea Diva, you get out your Armsman, and if you have Birdman in your hand, you special summon Birdman by returning Diva to your hand, and then you can activate Armsman effect, which allows you to normal summon an additional time a 1 level 4 lower Sea Serpent. So you just summon your Diva, and then you can get another Armsman. You can get whatever you want, and that allows you to go to an Exceed and a Synchro. It allows you to make Dark Mist really easy. So yeah, those are some really simple combos with Armsman, but generally you end up just sending them to the graveyard for the effect. That's generally what I use them for. Because I noticed Skill Drain can hurt this deck. However, if you're able to just, you know, discard as a cost with Megalo Abyss, you can just pop the Skill Drain, and from there you'll be good to go. Next up, we play 3 Marksmen, because Marksman is probably one of my favorite monsters, because you can get it out with Diva, and you can like overextend really easy, and you don't even like use that many cards to do it. It's basically just Deep Sea Diva into this, and you inflict 1600 points of damage, and you can special summon. Usually, this is pretty much the only target I really have. I didn't play the Pointman, which is the 2200 attacker, once there's another Sea Serpent on the field. So I kind of missed Pointman, and it allowed me to exceed a lot more. However, the deck just combos a lot better with Seahorseman. Seahorseman is just really good, and it allows you to make rank 4s. Like I've made Roach a few times, and it did help out quite a bit. Next up, we play Black Hole Soldier. I feel like this card's too good not to play. I play the Veilers and I play the Android, and you can play Giga Brilliant if you need to, but I find myself liking Black Hole Soldier too much. As you guys know, this card hands down wins games by itself. I mean, you summon something, they negate it, and you just drop BLS and you just go for game. Basically, this card it's too game breaking for me not to run. You have enough darks by far, but it's just, as far as lights, you have 2 Veilers, and as you guys know, I always end up making Android in every one of my games, so I felt like BLS was kind of live for me. You could opt to take it out. I mean, it's going to be more consistent if you play without it, but I feel like I can make Android fast enough in this deck. I have my Moray of Greeds to cycle out my hand to go for Android, or cycle out my hand to add an effect Veiler when I need to. I kind of do miss Sangan though, because Sangan serves out Veiler, so it's like really easy to make Black Hole Soldier a lot live. But you have so many things to like kind of cycle your hand, and you can deck thin with the Undine pretty well anyways. So I feel like, you know, you can make Black Hole Soldier viable if you want. So we're playing 2 Veilers to help out with BLS. You can play 3 if you want. There's no really traps in this deck. I'm still kind of testing it out to find out what's working. I feel like you might not even need this card Salvage, but Salvage nets so many advantages when you have this in your hand, and you can discard 2 to special summon them, and then you get your effects, and then you can Salvage, add them back. It's pretty unfair. I feel like it nets so much quick advantage, and you don't get punished for some of the plays you make in this deck because you plus off of it anyways. And then we're playing 2 Birdman. Birdman opens up a lot of doors as far as going for synchros, especially when your like Diva gets negated, you just return to your hand, special out Birdman. It just nets you know, kind of an advantage of what you can do in this deck, I would say, because like you can go for this Mermail and just let it die, then you can go for this because you can special summon just 1 Mermail. Usually you'll go for this, but sometimes if you need to, you can go for this, and then you can activate, you know, its effect, and then discard, pop 1, return to your hand, special summon Birdman, and then normal summon that again, and then you can go in for like a level 7 if you want a Black Rose, or Gungnir just requires the non-tuner to be Water Monster, so you can go for Gungnir too. Like, it just opens up more options to go for Synchros, and I really like Synchros because Exceeds, you know, you kind of get them out, use their effect once, and then that's really about it. After they have no material, it doesn't really do much. And I'm also playing Mind Control, so that's why I play Birdman. It just helps out. And then this card, MVP right here, Undine. He forces you to run bad cards, but, you know, he's worth it because, you know, his effect is really good. And it also being a cost, so if they bail this, don't even worry about it. You still have to send for your cost. You don't get to add the normal monster, unfortunately, so you don't draw it. But yeah, that's the only downside is running the normal monster. Next up, I'm playing Gores because this variant, I'm kind of testing it out still. As far as what I want to run, I definitely want to play the Solemn lineup. I'm just still testing it out, and you guys really wanted the deck profile, so I'm giving it to you guys now. Just like my other one, which I was playing tour guides in it before, but this works really well. And I'm still trying to test this deck out a little bit more, but you guys want a deck profile, so I'll show you guys what I was playing, and we'll make changes to it later. I definitely want to play the Solemn lineup, though. Then we're playing 2 Abyss Lind, and she's pretty good. I mean, you basically set her, or, you know, what I like about her, though, is it allows you to play really aggressive. You can just summon it, and if they torrential it, no problem. Like, if you already have, like, a good field, like, you already have, like, maybe, like, a magical android out, because that is common, I'll just summon it, and, like, I don't really care if they Mirror Force or whatever, because I have a Megalo Abyss I can get it, which is a 24 attacker. He doesn't really have any effects when he's on the field, but when you special summon, you could add 1 depth. So I run 1 depth sphere, and I never really draw this card too often. Even if I do, it's not that bad because you activate it, you get this card out, and then it dies. And then if they, like, you know, Space Typhoon or Heavy it, you just chain it and you get out Lind. Lind dies, you get out a 24 beater. So it's pretty good. And then we're playing 1 Abyss Spike. I really don't like this card too much, but it allows me to have a little bit more options with this card over here. Before, I was playing 3 Abyss Lind. I kind of think that 2, for me, is enough, because generally my first turn, it's just going to be Undine instead of setting her. What I liked about her, though, is I was able to play Duality when I was trying this deck with Duality plus Mariah Breed. Like, you had so much consistency there. But, which is really good if you want to try this deck out with maybe 2 dualities, maybe 1 duality. It allows you to go duality and then just set this card, then you have like a play next turn because you can set up your combo pieces like your Birdman or your Undine. It just sets you up, or like, you know, Diva. It just sets you up for abilities to do more stuff if you are wanting to play like dualities in this deck. Next up, we're playing 3 Megalo Abyss. Some people were saying this card was a dead draw, and I can kind of understand that when you have, like, you know, like Black Legend Soldier and then Gen X Controller and, like, stuff you can't use him with. And that does happen sometimes. I'll even admit that, like, sometimes 3, it might seem like a lot, but the thing is, it combos so well with Undine. So what you do with Undine is you summon Undine, you activate its effect, you send Seahorseman to the graveyard, and then you can add this card to your hand and ditch any other, like, cards that you can't use, like Armsman or Marksman at the moment, if you just want to discard them and kind of go for an aggressive push, because Undine's only 1200 attack, he can't really get over much. So it allows you to kind of play really aggressive. As well as a really quick way to make it game is, as long as you have Marksman plus this card on the field already, and you just summon any water monster, you can activate his effect to tribute 1 face-up attack versus water monster, except this card, and this card can attack twice. So basically, whatever you have, you just let it be tributed. And remember, if it's a water monster that, you know, gets an effect, you'll get their effect. And on top of that, he's 4800, and then you attack him with this, and then you attack him with this, and that will make him game. So this totals up to 8000 right here. Pretty good stuff, because this is 48. Remember, because you're going to be able to attacking twice with it. So I do like him. He allows you to overextend and really not get punished for it. And then playing Allure, because drawing this card's bad, or if you just add to your hand, it just gives you more options for draw power. Then play Dark Hole Heavy, Mind Control, because there's enough tuners. I mean, you got 2 Diva, 2 Veiler, 2 Birdman, and obviously Exceeding is, you know, really easy to do in this deck. And then Reborn, 3 Mariah Greed, it's kind of like the duality, and then Pot of Avarice and 2 Salvage, so you can kind of recycle what you have. And I almost feel like I don't really need Pot of Avarice, because I can just kind of keep them in my hand. But drawing cards is always good. So maybe I would possibly do this, and I'd play like the solemn lineup, because the solemn lineup is kind of required. So you can test that out. I'm still testing the deck. If you have any cards that you think that it would be good in my main deck that I'm currently not running, let me know in the comment section below, and I will be sure to check it out. As far as the extra deck, the only thing that's abnormal, I would say, that you guys might not be familiar with is maybe Gungnir. Gungnir is really good. His effect is, it's kind of like Bryanak, but remember his effect is only once per turn, so you have to discard 2 of them at the same time if you want to pop 2. You can't discard 1 then do it later on in the turn. So yeah, it has to be at this the same time. So you discard up to 2 cards to the graveyard, and remember, you usually want to discard water monsters, because if you discard your water monsters, they'll get their effects too. So you get really good advantage off of your Gungnir. So, pretty good stuff there. And also a Bahamut Shark, which is 2 level 4 water monsters, and once per turn you can detach 1 XYZ material to special summon a rank 3 or lower monster from your extra deck, and this card can't attack. But generally you're going to go for like this. If you want to go for Acid, you can go for Acid, but you probably don't want to go for Acid because it won't have any material, because you're just special summoning it. But the thing is, with this card, what's really good with him is he's a Sea Serpent also, but the main reason why you would go for him, if you have the option to go for him, is because when you detach, you get their effects, because he's a water monster. So if you detach, you know, whatever you have, maybe you increase this level, but generally if you're going to make him, you're pretty much going to go with this card. And if they had like a Thunder King on the field, you can just, you know, get rid of their Thunder King by taking it, and then maybe you have like another water monster you want to go for, like you can Reborn another Seahorseman, because this can't get over Thunder King. I realize this deck kind of sometimes can have problems against Thunder King, but yeah, so if you just like, you know, maybe Mind Control the Thunder King, normal summon this, and then Reborn another one of these, because it does require water monsters, so you can't overlay with their Thunder King. So yeah, you'll just go for this, and then you can kind of just go for game then if you want, because you'll get your effect by detaching, and then you can like maybe blow up their Thunder King or do whatever you need to do to get rid of Thunder, because Thunder King honestly hurts a lot. I would say, can this one destroy? Oh, it has to be a face-up card your opponent controls. So I guess if they had Thunder King and you took it, you couldn't destroy it because now you control it. But if maybe they have 2 Thunder Kings on the field, but then they'd probably negate to destroy this. But you get the idea. You want to get rid of Thunder Kings. It does hurt the deck, so I guess you can just go for like a rank 4. But yeah, so this has been the deck profile that I've been playing for a while, and I think it's pretty good. Most people will probably say you shouldn't play BLS in here, but I feel like this card is too good, and this card wins games like by itself. It really does, and people complain about BLS being too good, and I think it probably will get hit eventually, because the card is way too good, and I feel like I can make it pretty easy in this deck, because I can go for Android with just Deep Sea Diva, and have a lot of cards to search out Diva anyways. So yeah, this has been the deck profile for the Mermail Atlantians that I've been playing for the past week, I'd say. And it's pretty good. I can't wait to see this deck come out, and as well as I want to play maybe enemy controller and switch up the build a little bit. So this is kind of like a deck profile in progress, because I'm still checking out what you know, combos you can do with this deck, because I'm sure this deck will have some other combos that I just don't know of yet, and they'll be pretty good. But yeah, if there's any suggestions for this deck, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll check out some of the other cards, or maybe if you guys know some combos with this deck that I didn't mention, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon, signing out.